Hi guys, and welcome to my WrestleMania Backlash review. So yes, last night we had WrestleMania Backlash. Yes, and I've got to say, considering this was a show that had very little hype, very little build, well, it had build, I just wasn't that hyped for it, and it was a very meh show going into it, but I've got to say, they pulled it off. This was a really good show, and WWE can be very proud of themselves. So I've got 7 matches to talk about, and we had some very good matches. For a B level pay per view that, like I said, didn't have a lot of hype going in. They delivered. I think there were some really good things on this show. There were some really stupid things, but we'll get to that. Don't worry. But I have 7 matches to talk about. So without further ado, let's get to it. So, pre-show, very briefly, we had Sheamus doing an open challenge for his US Championship. Ricochet came out, and they had a pretty good 7-minute match. Quite very even. But at the end, Sheamus won with with this knee strike. He hit Ricochet with this knee strike, not a bro kick, a knee strike. Yeah, Sheamus won. But then after the match, Ricochet attacked Sheamus and then put on his hat and coat. It was like, yeah. I'm like, what are you doing, Ricochet? And then Sheamus' music starts playing, but then they go outside the ring, and then Ricochet's like, yeah, I got you. Yeah, Ricochet, you lost. You're trying to... Is that how far Ricochet's fallen? He's claiming victory because he stole Sheamus' hat and coat. On to the main show. So kicking off the show, we got the triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Yes, we got Rhea Ripley defending her belt up against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. And this was great 15-minute triple threat match between all three. It's what every triple threat match should be. Really even. All three get their chances. All three get their chance to shine. There's a believable chance in the match that one of them can win it in each part. Like Asuka gets the Asuka loss. Charlotte has the natural selection, which she hit at one point, like a double natural selection on both of them. That was cool. Rhea had her moments too. It was a really good match. Great back and forth action between all three of them. There we go. Said it, back and forth action. I've seen a lot more. I counted it. I said back and forth in my WrestleMania prediction video like 40 times. Let's see if I can beat that. Great back and forth match. It was good. It was very competitive, very evenly competitive. But then there was a spot where Asuka just started dominating. She just kept dominating both Charlotte and Rhea. It was really cool. But eventually they came back into it. Charlotte hit, like I said, a really cool double natural selection. That was cool, but they both kicked out, and Charlotte was like looking really annoyed. Rhea had her spots too, and obviously at the end when Charlotte, the ending was a bit weird. So Charlotte big boots Asuka, who goes out the ring. So it looks like Charlotte's going to come straight back in, but no, Rhea hits a riptide on Asuka. 1, 2, 3, and Whit retains. But I was like, what? But where's Charlotte? Because it was done so poorly. Because it looked like Charlotte didn't. She just fell out the ring, but she didn't look hurt. So they didn't. I was thinking, Charlotte's going to break this pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, Rhea retained. Oh, okay. It didn't explain that very well. And they showed when Charlotte big booted Asuka, she bounced back off the ring. I was like, okay, well the camera didn't show that at all. So I was a bit, fair enough. Rhea Ripley retains, as she should. It's her first defense. It would have been crazy for it would have been absolutely crazy for them to drop it, for her to drop it this early. So great match. No Alexa Bliss, nothing like that. No, but Charlotte, Rhea Ripley retains, as she should. So cool, good match. And then next up we got a tag team match for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. And this was a really good match. Of course, we got Rude and Ziggler defending their belts, the Dirty Dogs. Yes, defending their belts, going up against Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. This was obviously, Rude and Ziggler attacked Dominic before the match during the pre-show. So, it was just basically for most of the match. Well, was a 2-on-1 handicap match, and poor Ray was just getting worked over and over by Rude and Ziggler. He put up a good fight at the start, but then Rude and Ziggler just started to dominate him and get in charge. And yeah, it was getting hard to watch. Ray was just getting beaten up. I was like, oh no, it's just a matter of time, isn't it? But yeah, Ray just kept kicking out. I think they hit a zigzag or a famouser at one point, and Ray kicked out, and Rude and Ziggler were like, what? But then out came Dominic, even though he was like still injured from that backstage assault by Rude and Ziggler. But Dominic came out, he's like, tag me, and Ray was like, wait, what are you doing, son? What are you doing? You're injured. But no, miraculously, Dominic makes a full recovery, tags Ray, and it becomes a full-on tag team match. And yeah, it becomes much more even. But then Rude and Ziggler still dominate a little bit towards Dominic, because he's got injured ribs, even though at one point Dominic went on the ropes. He was doing that side, and then he went, what side is it, Dominic? But yeah, the match was really good. It was so competitive. There were so many times I was going, oh my god, who's going to win? But then as soon as Dominic came back, I think it was pretty obvious that Ray and Dominic were going to get the big babyface win, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, towards the end, Ray hit a 619 on Rude and tagged in Dominic. Then Dominic performed a big frog splash on Rude to win. And so yes, Ray and Dominic have become the first ever father and son tag team champions, and I'm really happy for them. Really proud for them. It's a big achievement for both of them. It's Dominic's first title in WWE. It's Ray's first title in over 2 years, because he was US champion, wasn't he, very briefly in 2019. But yeah, I'm happy for Ray as well, because it's just a great moment, and they were both hugging each other. They had a little interview after the match. It was like, oh, it's great. It's a great moment. I'm so happy for them. Big baby fit, and it was a long match. It was 17 minutes. It was longer than the triple threat match. And yeah, I'm happy, because the SmackDown Tag Team Championships have been so irrelevant the last few months. Like they haven't been on pay-per-views or anything. So this was a great match to bring the SmackDown Tag Team Championships back onto a pay-per-view. Great match. One of the matches of the night. It really was. I'm so happy for Ray and Dominic. I know Callum will be too. He's probably jumping around his living room when he watches it tonight. But I do think Ray and Dominic won't have them for long though, sadly. I do think there's a good chance that the Usos might win them at Hell in a Cell, because I do think the Usos might challenge Ray and Dominic, and the Usos might win. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to enjoy it. Ray and Dominic, congrats, great win, and a very, very good tag team match, very good. So yeah, the first 2 matches were great, and then things got absolutely fucking bonkers. So yeah, we had a Lumberjack match, yes, between Damian Priest and The Miz with John Morrison. So yeah, a Lumberjack match, it's usually wrestlers outside the ring, wrestlers. But I can't hold it. Oh, but they were heavily promoting a film that Batista's going to be in. Dave Batista, he's in a new zombie film made by Zack Snyder. It's called Army of the Dead or something, I think, something like that. It's going to be on Netflix, and I think it's already in theatres. They're heavily promoting it, and it's just because Batista's a WWE superstar. It's a zombie apocalypse film. So zombies come out to the ring, and they become the Lumberjacks, zombie extras. Yes, I'm not kidding. Zombie extras. I was sat there going, what is this? So yeah, Miz and Damian Priest have a match while the zombies outside the ring. The zombies were outside the ring, outside the ring. And whenever Miz or Damian Priest were outside the ring, the zombies were like, and they were fighting them off. I was just like, what is this? This is absolutely ridiculous. Even by WWE standards, this is ridiculous. I was just sat there going, what is going on? And then towards the end of the match, Damian Priest, Morrison tries to come out and help, but then Morrison, he's on the barricade and 2 zombies like pull Morrison down and eat him. And then yeah, and then at the end of the match, Priest hit the lights on Miz, 1, 2, 3. He got out of the ring really quickly. Then all the zombies start crawling into the ring and start eating the Miz. Like, that's the shot. Like, there's like 10 zombies on Miz going, and you can see Miz going, oh no! Like, They ended a match with Miz being eaten by zombies. I have no words. I have no words. Like I said, even by WWE's awful standards, this was terrible. People are ranting about it online. I can't wait to see some rants from some wrestling channels. What was this? Well, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I get it was to promote Batista's new film, but what has Batista's new zombie film got to do with this pay-per-view? Absolutely nothing. Just because this pay-per-view was being sponsored by Army of the Dead, but oh god, it was awful. It was bad. It was just terrible. And I oh man, like zombies. Moving on. Onto the next match. Yes, back onto the good stuff now. It was a great pay-per-view. That was just the one bad thing. But anyway, moving on. So yes, we had a singles match for the WWE Smackdown Women's Championship. Yes, we had Bianca Belair, because she's on her own. Going up against Bayley. Ding dong! So yeah, and this was a really good singles match. Really good. Bianca and Bayley can be very proud of themselves. Just goes to show how good Bayley is in the ring. Obviously she was brought in to be Bianca's first opponent after she beat Sasha at WrestleMania. And the match was great. It was just a great heel versus face match, as you would expect in a singles match. Bianca dominated quite early on. Bayley just couldn't get going. Bianca was all cocky with her hair. Bayley was just outside the ring getting all annoyed. But then Bayley came back into the match and it became more even. Then Bayley started to dominate for a bit. And yeah, it was just a very good singles match between two, a heel and a face. It was great. It went on for 16 minutes too, which is a good length for a singles match too. Nice good length. And then there was a time where Bayley, she started using Bianca's hair quite a lot, just like Sasha did at WrestleMania. But then, and she at one point, I think she wrapped Bianca with her hair and hit a Bayley to belly. That was really cool. Bianca kicked out. But then the end of the match was a bit yeah. So after a very back and forth singles match for 16 minutes, back and forth, Bianca won the match because Bayley was using Bianca's hair to try and get a pin, but then Bianca reversed it. It's like a roll-up pin with her hair or something on Bayley. 1, 2, 3. It was a very abrupt ending. I was like, what? That's how they end Bianca's first defense. I mean, she could have hit a KOD, couldn't she? I'm just saying. It was a bit of a silly finish, and Bianca's like, ha, yeah. And Bayley's like, what? That's not fair. Complaining to the refs. I was just like, great match, but just a bit of a silly finish. Yeah, a bit of a maybe there's going to be a rematch at Hell in a Cell. I do think this feud's not over. I do think Bayley will want a rematch at Hell in a Cell, and hopefully that can have a proper finish. Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, very good match. Then on to the last two matches. Yes, for the last two matches, which main event, the co-main events. Yes, we had a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Yes, we had the almighty Bobby Lashley with MVP going up against Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. And yeah, this was great. This was fantastic. I loved this match. It was just such a great heavyweight triple threat match. Because when was the last time you had a triple threat match with three big heavyweights? In Bobby, Drew, and Braun. This was great. So many spots. The match just was non-stop. For 14 minutes, it was non-stop. So many big spots. Braun dominated early, but then Drew and Bobby came back into it. There was a really cool spot where Drew and Bobby were outside the ring, and Braun hit this jumping dive off the apron. I was like, whoa, you Braun. Now, because Braun's over 300 pounds. So that was really cool to see Braun hit that. But then Drew hit a jumping dive on one of the top ropes on Bobby and Braun. That was really cool. It was just back and forth. It was really cool, this match. It was just all three guys had time to shine. Like I said, perfect triple threat matches, but all three guys have their moments. All three guys have their chance to win. And a close pinfall. Then Braun gets a... there was a really cool spot where... what was it? Oh yeah, Drew claymores Braun outside the ringside banister. So Braun's out for a little bit. Then Bobby and Drew fight for a little bit up the entranceway, and then then out of nowhere, yeah, Drew throws Bobby through like the LED boarding, all the sparks. I was like, oh my god. And I thought, like, is that how they're going to write Bobby out the match? Oh my god, is Drew or Braun going to win now? Oh my god. So yeah, Bobby's out. He's just been thrown through all the LED, and Braun and Bobby. Then Braun and Drew get back to fighting, and yeah, for like 5-6 minutes, it's just Braun and Bobby going at it. Some really cool, like, I remember there was a spot where Braun puts Drew through a table when he counted the Claymore. He puts Drew, doing the big Braun thing. They were so evenly matched, all three of them. But then towards the end, I was like, oh, it's obvious, isn't it? Bobby's going to come back in at the very end and win it, and win Braun and Lash. Oh my god, Braun and Drew are fighting. Freaking hell, man! It's early. Forgive me. I only got up half an hour ago. But yeah, this was great. And obviously, like I said, towards the end, I think Drew kicked out of a power slam. Yeah, I think it was a power slam, and Braun was like, couldn't believe it. But then Drew was about getting ready to hit a Claymore. No, I think he hit it. I think Drew had the match won. He hit a Claymore on Braun, but then before he could go for the pin, in came Lashley. He was back. Very predictable. He came in. He was back. He looked pissed. He threw Drew out the ring, and then he hit a spear on Strowman. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Lashley retained. I'm not sure about the finish, to be honest. I think they could have. Yeah, I mean Braun and Drew did all the work in this match. Like, for the last half of this match, they did all the heavy lifting while Bobby was passed out on the LED board. Then he just comes back, hits a spear, wins. But whatever, it was a good match, very good match. And they did the visual again of Drew looking really annoyed and heartbroken because he had the match won until Bobby came back. He hit the Claymore on Braun. He was like that, looking all pissed off. And Bobby was just doing that again. So it was the same visual at WrestleMania. So I do think Drew will be the one to beat Bobby. I think he'll be the one, but I think they're going to give it a break now. Maybe Drew wins it, because I think Drew will be the one to eventually win it back off Bobby. Because they keep teasing it, don't they? How he keeps coming short. He nearly had to beat at WrestleMania, but MVP distracted him. He only had it here, but then Bobby hits the spear on Braun and wins. So yeah, I do think they're teasing that eventually Drew will be able to beat Bobby and win back the belt. So maybe at Hell in a Cell, maybe at SummerSlam, we will see. But yeah, great match. Then on to the main event, which was crazy. So yes, we had Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, with Paul Heyman, going up against Cesaro, yes, for the Universal Championship. So yes, Cesaro comes out, and then before Roman comes out, he speaks to Jey Uso, no, I'm doing this on my own. So yeah, no Jey Uso, like, thank God. So yeah, no help, no Jey Uso helping him. And then yeah, Roman and Cesaro get it on, and this was a long match. It was 27.5 minutes, but it was great. Really, really good, this match. So it started, the match gets off to quite an even start. Cesaro gets off to a good start. He's like frustrating Roman with all his technical offense, all his technical moves, and Roman's just going, like, he just can't quite get going. Maybe he's underestimated Cesaro and all that, but then Roman starts to get back into it. He starts hitting all his power moves and dominating Cesaro like he usually does. Cesaro just couldn't get going, and then he really starts focusing on Cesaro's arm. So Cesaro's uppercut, his offense is severely weakened. So then Cesaro really starts selling his arm for most of the match. He's got like this big red blotch on his pit here, and it looked painful, man. Cesaro was doing a really good job of selling it. He was like, oh, for a lot of the match, whenever he hit like an uppercut or an arm move. But yeah, it was great, man. And then Cesaro, of course, got back into it. It was so back and forth. Yeah, really, really good match between these two. It was looking to be a great match. Cesaro was so fucking good, and it's criminal that this is one of his first main event matches ever. It's criminal. Cesaro is. Let me just say, Cesaro's not a spring chicken anymore. He's what? Cesaro's 40. Fuck me. So yeah, he should have been having these main event pushes years ago. But yeah, but still, he can still go, Cesaro, definitely. And yeah, this was, like I said, it was a fantastic match, and there were some spots where you really thought Cesaro was going to win. He hit a really cool sharpshooter on Roman, and Roman was like, proper selling it, but no, Roman got out of it. He hit like a proper crossface on Roman, and Roman looked like he was about to tap, but then Roman like countered it and just starts pummeling Cesaro. And yeah, Roman did dominate quite a large segment of the match. At one point, it was getting hard to watch, but Cesaro just wouldn't quit. Like he kicked out of a Superman punch. I think he kicked out of like some sort of top rope move. He kicked out of a Samoan drop. So the match was Cesaro was just showing a lot of heart and determination. Like he just wouldn't quit, even though Roman was dominating a lot of the match. And although Cesaro never got to hit the swing, which was disappointing. He really wanted to see Cesaro hit the swing, but no. And then towards the end, after a war between these two, Roman hits the guillotine choke, and Cesaro looked like he was going to counter out of it. He got up at one point, he got Roman out. Roman still had it locked in, and Cesaro passed out. Yeah. So yeah, Roman retains, and it's a clean win. No Jey Uso, thank God. I was just saying, I love this Roman Reigns heel character, but what was holding him back was the fact that Jey Uso was always helping him retain. Against Kevin Owens, against Drew, against Daniel Bryan, Edge at WrestleMania. It was always Jey Uso helping him out, pulling him out of the fire, But this time, Roman retained clean, just like he did against Daniel Bryan on Smackdown. So they're finally starting to give Roman Reigns, dominant heel wins now. He wins on his own. Great. It's a great match too, but yeah, Cesaro has nothing to be ashamed of. It was a fantastic performance. It showed a lot of heart, a lot of determination, like he just wouldn't quit, and the only way Roman could beat him was to just pass him out with a guillotine choke. So yeah, Cesaro's got nothing to be ashamed of. But then after the match, I felt really bad for Cesaro, because then Jey Uso comes out and starts beating up Cesaro. I'm like, come on. And then Seth Rollins comes out and goes, yeah. And then he starts beating up Cesaro. I'm like, oh, come on. Cesaro's just been through a war with Roman Reigns. Then you have Jey Uso and Seth Rollins beat up poor Cesaro. And Seth Rollins is just going full ham, like smacking Cesaro into the banister. He puts his arm in a chair and Seth's like, yeah, don't you ever disrespect me. And poor Cesaro, he's just like, like his arm's broken or something. So poor Cesaro, man. And I think maybe he's going to be written off TV, maybe. Or maybe there's going to be a big rematch now with Seth and Cesaro at Hell in a Cell, because that's next pay-per-view. Like, yeah, maybe Seth and Cesaro in a Hell in a Cell match, and Cesaro finally gets his payback on Seth. We will see. But it was a great match, but I don't think we needed that beat down at the end. Poor Cesaro, man. I felt so bad for him. But yeah, Roman retains, and yeah, he's looking really dominant now, isn't he? Because it was a clean win. He's starting to get clean wins now, isn't he? He beat Bryan clean on SmackDown. He's now beating Cesaro clean in a big 27-minute match. So, who's going to beat Roman Reigns? Is Roman going to have that belt literally till next year's WrestleMania, till The Rock comes back? That's what everyone's saying. Is Roman going to have that belt for ages now? We will see. Maybe a certain Brock Lesnar comes back and maybe challenges Roman, because we haven't seen Brock in over a year. So we will see. But yeah, guys, that was Backlash. WrestleMania Backlash. Really good show. I think, yeah, it was great. The only bad thing was the Lumberjack match with the fucking zombies. Oh, excuse me. Every other match was great. The women's triple threat match was great. The tag team match with Rey and Dominic winning, probably one of the matches of the night. Bianca Belair and Bayley, great. The triple threat, Lashley, Drew and Braun, was just a big, meaty, big boy. You could see Vince in the back going, oh my God. You could do that Vince meme of, he was in the back doing that, Vince, with those three big heavyweights, big boys. And then obviously the main event, Roman and Cesaro put on a hell of a match. Cesaro, even though he lost, I think he got a lot of respect, and I do think Cesaro may face Roman again. I think he's going to get another chance, maybe at Extreme Rules if that's next pay-per-view, or Money in the Bank. I don't know what pay-per-views are. I thought Money in the Bank was next, but no, it's Hell in a Cell in June. Hell in a Cell in June. Hell in a Cell is usually in October. Whatever. But yeah, that was WrestleMania Backlash, guys. What did you think? Comment below. Let me know. Really good show. Really, really good show. Like I said, the only bad match was the Lumberjack match. That was it. Everything else was great. Even the pre-show with Sheamus and Ricochet was a solid 7-minute match. So yeah, guys, what did you think of WrestleMania Backlash? Comment below. Let me know. So my upcoming video schedule. I'll be back on the 23rd with Callum and Luke for our Premier League video, because obviously the Premier League season's coming to an end. I'll be back for that. Pay-per-view wise, probably won't be for a while, because Hell in a Cell is the 20th of June. So I'll probably be back with Laura and Liam on the 12th of June for our Hell in a Cell prediction video. And I might do a reviewer video before then. So yeah, there's 2 videos upcoming in the next few weeks, guys. Obviously, I'm back to work. I'm back to work now, so my videos might not be as frequent. But yeah, I'm back to work this week. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. And yes, hope you all have a good week. And I'll see you all very soon.